It's not always the newest combo kit or power tools or hammer drill that makes you the most productive on the job. Sometimes it's the accessories, the stuff that's less expensive, the disposable stuff, the stuff that allows you to finish, get ready for the painters, or to paint yourself. What if those disposable products that start to allow you to finish work better, longer? You could get every dollar out of them. Wouldn't that be something? If you're a contractor, a remodeling contractor, a drywall contractor, at some point you've probably sanded some drywall in your life. I know it's not an illustrious job, but I will tell you this much. A good finisher definitely is followed up by a good sander. There's a saying back in the day, we used to joke around, it was spackle, caulk, and paint makes me the carpenter I ain't, you know? The reality is that you're gonna put that joint compound on, you're gonna have to take a whole bunch of it off, and you just wanna leave that bit that's gonna make it look smooth as silk. We use products, sanding sheets, sanding screens on the daily to get our jobs done. Sanding sponges. Diablo has some revolutionary new products. I mean, showstoppers. Things that are going to last 10 times longer means you're going to make more money. Like I said, they're not the most illustrious things, but you should be made aware of them because when you see them in the store, you might pass them over for a lesser product that's not going to return your investment. They've really gone ham on their sanding products. This is their SandNet drywall sanding sheets. They're promising up to 10 times longer life. And you're able to clean and reuse these sanding sheets. This is their universal reusable. It's 4 3/16 by 11 1/4. It's made to be used with drywall hand sanders and drywall pole sanders. What do you use? How do you use it? We want to know. They're calling these grits like prep grits. Quite frankly, literally, you come in with 100 grit, you knock down any real heavy. Sometimes you could even go a little finer. We're coming in to finish with this 180 grit. This is plenty. Now, some of you will want to go 220. They do have that available. There's 5 sheets in this pack, and you'll see here, this is made specifically for anti-clogging. This design resists pitch buildup. Pretty cool. Now, here's the thing. Using this with your pole sander, instead of using regular sanding sheets, okay, using the net, you're able to bang off your pole sander and get the debris out from inside these sheets. Now, here's the deal. On top of that, let's just say you were to sand some joint compound that might not be fully dried yet, and you got some wet clogged you up here. You're able to not only shake these clean, that might not work. You can vacuum. You can also rinse. You could get these wet. You could rinse them off, dry them out, reuse them. I really like that. These are pretty much the workhorses. They're going to make you, in my opinion, a lot more productive. They also have, which was very compelling, I wanted to get my hands on it. A lot of my guys and a lot of my guys over the years always liked a sanding block for that detail work. Me personally, I'm not really the sanding block kind of person for drywall. I don't see the need for it, but some of you do. You've learned a different way, and variety is the spice of life. Diablo has these reusable sanding blocks. Dense foam side for aggressive material removal in flat surfaces and 90-degree corner sanding, okay? And then cushion foam side for controlled material removal in contour sanding. Here's the best part. Hook loop backing for repeated attachment and removal of Diablo SandNet sheets. Once again, you're able to vacuum, shake, or rinse these clean. They have different grits, 80, 120, 220. It says ideal for wet and dry sanding for wood, metal, and plastiques. Because it's hook and loop, okay, let's just say you're doing multiple, you're doing detail work, right? But you have some heavy that you want to take off. You can throw one side 80, boom. And then you can throw the other side 120 on there. So you have a multi-purpose sanding block Kind of like these sanding blocks that might have different grits on different edges. Here's the thing though, this sanding block, you're able to replace your sheets or sand nets because of the hook and loop. You're able to hook up your sand net or sanding block however you like. Plus it's foam. This side has less cushion to it. For more, you would put your more aggressive paper or net on this side for more aggressive removal of material. But you have this other side. It's not as dense. Okay? It would be for finer sanding. It would also allow you to contour along an edge.
There's more give to it.
There's more give to it. See that? Whereas this firmer side is not as much give. You're going to take off more material on that edge more rapidly. Diablo also released a whole bunch of these dual edge sanding sponges. And the good part about this is it has multiple style edge. We have a rounded edge here. We have a corner edge here. It all depends on the type of corner, inside corners, okay? Your sanding, maybe you have some rounded corners, inside corners. They're giving you different options with these sanding sponges. They're pretty firm as well. They have these sanding sponges from ultra coarse, 36 grit, medium coarse, 40 grit, medium, 60 to 80 grit, fine, 100 to 120 grit, ultra fine at 180 to 220, or micro fine, 320 to 400 grit, depending on what type of sanding you're doing. These aren't necessarily just for drywall sanding. You can use these for drywall sanding, but you can use these for stain and varnish, final surface finish, and inner coat final finishes. Like if you're working on cabinetry or furniture, these would come in handy. I like the idea that you have multiple style edges, although for drywall work that I do, I don't necessarily prefer these sanding sponges. But let's talk to somebody that does like sanding sponges. Michael here is known as the master plasterer from Second and Tasker. Tell us why you like sanding sponges.
I like sanding sponges because of the shape of them. Sometimes I have to get in corners. Sometimes there's a little rounded corner, you know, and I also like it because you can wet it, which will leave you less dust in a customer's house if you're doing residential. And it's just a quick, easy way, and it has a nice finish to it. To tell you the truth, these, to date, I've done a lot of sanding, a lot of drywall. To date, these are the best sponges I've ever used from Diablo.
Now, when you say sponges, you're talking about these single sponges? What do you think of this?
This was awesome. This was awesome because it doesn't get clogged. The look and hoop allows it to, all the dust to fall out. One little bang like that and all your dust is gone. You can keep going and keep going. Where this will get clogged up on you. You have to clean out every once in a while. But this is a great idea. I mean, I wouldn't use anything else. Not only that, you can use two different grits at the same time if you have some rough stuff and then you have some fine, just to hit down the edges. Sometimes you got to go over things 2 or 3 times to build them out. You might have some rough stuff. You hit it with the 80 grit, and then you can switch back over to the 120 or whatever you want to do.
So what do you think about the sand nets?
The sand nets were great also because it gave room for the dust to not get caught behind the pad.
Right.
You know?
When you finished up, you rinsed these out, they feel like they're going to fall apart or anything?
It was actually, it looked like it didn't even touch it. It was brand new again. A couple shakes and it was dry again. Nick seen it. I dumped it in the water, shook it out, it was ready to go.
Scale of 1 to 10, what do you think of the sanding blocks?
You're going to think I'm crazy, but it's a 10.
You're crazy, it can't be true. What do you think about the hook and loop sanding block with the replaceable nets?
I wouldn't even use anything else anymore.
What, on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
What about these sand nets?
Everything gets a 10, just as it says 10 times in life.
And if you like getting advice on sanding your drywall and other materials from the master plasterer from Second and Tasker, then smash the like button. Also, leave it down below. What are you presently using to get your drywall finished? We want to know. Leave it down below. With that, I want to say I appreciate Mike for helping us out today.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you all on the next one.
Video's over, but I know you want more. So this is how you're going to get it. First thing you need to do is pretend you're this guy. And you're here at the birthplace of freedom. Now ring that bell like it's 1776 and let all notifications through. What? You're not subscribed yet? Well, smash this button here. After that, watch this video here, and maybe over here. See you later.